Hey, it's Miss Frankie. I'm going to be talking about benchmarking, which is in lesson 6.6. And when we are doing benchmarking, what we are really just trying to find is how close a fraction is to 0, to half, and to whole. Okay? Now, for all of our lessons we're going to be talking about for chapter 6, they're all going to be less than 1. When we get into some other lessons, we'll be benchmarking up through the number line. But we always want to benchmark to the 0, the half, and to the whole. And when I'm saying benchmarking, I'm really just saying where does the fraction lie on the number line? Well, there's a couple tricks that we can do. The first one, which we discussed as a class, is pretty easy, is when we draw the pieces out. When we draw the pieces out, we know we're going to go from 0 to the whole. And say I'm doing, let's go with fourths here. If I want to know where 3/4 is on the number line, I look and I see, oh, it's between my half and my whole. So it would actually go somewhere about right there, which is 3/4. Because it goes past my whole, or sorry, past the half, but it's not quite to the whole. So 3/4 would be between the half and the whole. So, but we decided using fraction pieces is a little easy for us. Some kids thought, no. But once they learned about benchmarking, they thought this is pretty simple too. So we're going to actually take let's do 3/8. And I don't know where 3/8 is on the number line. So I want to benchmark it. What I'm going to do is find my 0 fraction for my denominator, which would be 0/8, because the 0 would then tell me there's no 8s. Then I'm going to figure out what the half fraction is. Well, what is half of 8? Well, 8 divided by 2, because half means to divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Then I want to find my whole fraction. Well, to make a whole pizza, I would have 8 pieces out of 8 total pieces. Then what I do is I figure out which fraction my 0, my half, or my whole 3/8 is closest to. Well, I know it's not close to 8/8 because there's 2 other numbers it could be closer to. So, is 3 closer to 0 or 3 closer to 4? 3 is closer to 4. So it's close to my 1/2. If it's close to my 1/2, I want to decide, is it above my 1/2 or below my 1/2? So does 3 come before 4 or after 4? Well, 3 comes before. So on my number line, 3/8 would come before the half, but it would still be closer to it. This again, like I said, comes in handy when we start comparing fractions. So if I look at maybe another fraction here, let me find one for us. Oh, let's go with 9/12. Okay, so maybe I want to compare 3/8 to 9/12. So I've already found all of my 8ths. So now I'm going to go through and find my 12ths. Again, what I'm going to do is find my 0 fraction for 12ths. And if you haven't noticed, I'm using the denominator that is in my original fraction. So my 0/12 is 0/12. My half is the half of my denominator. So half of 12 is 6. And then finally, my whole is 12/12. So I'm going to look and see which is 9/12 closest to. Well, it's not close to 0. Definitely not. Well, I look closely and I'm like, hey, 9 actually falls right in the middle of both 6 and 12. So I can't necessarily say it's close to either one, but I know that then 9/12 is going to go between my half and my whole. So if I were to compare these two fractions, I'm going to use the symbol less than to compare the two fractions. Okay, this is about benchmarking. It's lesson 6.6. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.